Awesome. It's so good to be here at No Fish, and thank you for that wonderful introduction, SM Midi. I'm Amalgamayne. I like to do horror, I like to do action, and I can't wait to be able to show you how much fun it is to be able to defeat the evil who is plaguing the world with just a little pistol. But before we do that, we have to look glamorous. And I heard that somebody wants to dress me up in a little bit of a different dress. So who won the bid war?
That is a great question. I will just refresh to double check which costume won the bid war.
Okay.
So we had 3 costumes, and I can confirm that the winner is the RE4 Chinese dress.
Okay. Glamorous choice. Thank you, everybody, for putting in some of your donations for making the run look extra glamorous. For those who haven't seen a Resident Evil game, this is the DLC to the main game that came out maybe a couple years ago. And because we're playing with a pistol, and pistol only, we're going to be putting this on assisted so I could be able to show you a lot of the glitchless tricks that I do to be able to get through a 7-chapter game in just about 50 minutes, 55 minutes. Time will start when I get control of Ada, and time will end right after I take care of finishing out the final boss, which I'm not going to spoil for anybody who has not seen this game. So there's a couple cutscenes I have to skip through before time starts, and again, we're going to have such a good time here. Lots of action and lots of pretty. And let's go with time.
Go. Is it close? Not exactly.
So, again, this is the famous DLC that comes with Resident Evil 4. We immediately, unlike most games, get thrown straight into a boss fight. And all we have is our tiny little pistol. You'd be like, how am I supposed to defeat this big guy? Alright? You'll be fine. All you gotta do, wait for him to appear, and just keep shooting him in the head. He tries to make you see things that you can't, but he's always straight in front of you. So, ta-da! First boss fight already down and gone within the first minute of the run. From a story perspective, we play as one of the secondary characters in the Resident Evil franchise, Miss Ada Wong, a super secret agent. And she is charged with being able to capture a sample of the Plagas virus on this island. Because one of the adversaries of the game, Mr. Wesker, wants it to further his research into creating an even more powerful T-virus. So we got caught in the very beginning of the game, and we have to navigate through this funny castle that has catapults. But don't worry, you got yourself a nice little hook shot. You can just skip your way straight around all the catapults. All the people throwing stuff at you. You could use the cannon if you want, but it's much more glamorous just to fling yourself directly into the enemies. Grab yourself some extra bullets, because we'll be needing that for the run. And that's level 1. Ta-da! Now, in between each level, you do get a chance to either save or modify your equipment. But because we're on a schedule here, and we need to get to the end of our fancy little fashion run here, we're just going to keep on going. So now that we got out of that really, really weird castle, we now have to go through this village. And you'll get to see some more interesting game mechanics as I run really, really fast by all of these guards. you'll get to see that I get to abuse what I call wake-up frames with all of these enemies. So what happens is when you get a new enemy to load, they will sometimes... There we go. They'll just stand around, and that gives you time to just walk into them or walk right around them like I just did right there. And normally you'd have to get rid of that group of about 10 people, but with just a pistol you might go, uh-oh, how am I supposed to do that? You could just use the power of running. Because even though we are in a dress, we are fashionably fast. And besides, this Chinese-looking dress is even more cool. That's how you get through the first tough area in this run. What I'm also doing is grabbing some additional equipment along the way. And that's because if you haven't heard of the wonderful, crazy merchant and what are you buying, we need to purchase fashionable upgrades for Ada. Because otherwise, we're not going to really have a chance to go very quickly through the rest of the game. So if you see me grab little things, break barrels, or shoot guards, it's because I need the extra money. And every fashionable lady or dude could use a little fashion upgrade. Right now, we're headed to a church. And the first thing you do when you get on the way to the church is you kill a crow. And you kick a lady in the face. Why? Because they're guarding the admission to the door. I wouldn't want anybody blocking me to where I want to go.
Here we are, the church.
So look at that, we're already moving and grooving. You might be like, this is too easy, this is too easy. And that's the same thing Ada would say. Because while I'm skipping through here, we're supposed to be meeting a friend here at the church, Mr. Luis. And he's not here, so we know something's wrong.
Should have known he'd be trouble.
And what that something is we got another boss fight coming up. 2 boss fights in a row? Don't worry, the power of the pistol and our beautiful dress will take us home.
Hurry on to the church now. You don't want to.
And as we run through here, we're about to do our first shopping trip with our friend the merchant.
Hey, straight.
He's such a cool dude. All right, let's go shopping.
Still have some new
And while I'm shopping, if there are any messages or announcements, feel free to say them, because this may not be the most cool part of the run of just going shopping.
Try that on for size.
Can indeed, that's what I'm here for.
Awesome.
So, we are raising money in support of Mind, and Mind aim to ensure no one has to face a mental health problem alone. Their helplines and resources have helped people looking for support since 1946. £20 could help their info line answer calls, giving people vital support. To learn more about the organisation, visit mind.org.uk. And currently, we have a couple of bid wars and incentives going on. So we have the bid war now open for the hat choice for Ollie tomorrow, skateboarding dog speed run, and there are a few options for that one. You've got astronaut, cowboy, ghost, pumpkin, or umbrella, and any donation towards that would put that option in the lead at the moment. We also have the £15 incentive for the Arena Boss Rush for Kirby's Return to Dreamland. So if you'd like to see that, make sure you remember to put it towards a poll and a target in Tiltify with your donation.
Please do donate. It's a great cause, and everybody deserves to feel great inside and out. while most of this run is going to be talking about fashion and the outside of you, feel free to be able to invest on the inside of you, because it really does matter.
Absolutely.
And that's how we beat that second boss. He tries to do some of those same tricks that you saw in the first fight, but we see right through him. He just likes to be the one who stands still, and as long as you know that, you can see right through all of his disguises. It's quite fun.
Hope there's a lead on Luis here.
So now that we got rid of that guy, we have to go back to our mission here of finding Luis. Grabbing some things on my way to be able to see him. Because, again, we need to be able to go shopping. And if we don't have money to go shopping, we are out of luck. Unfortunately, we can't get out of this house yet, because they locked us in. That's no fun. Don't worry, you could just look behind, you know, in a car, like if it was behind the driver's visor, you just look behind a little picture frame, and then you just gotta run, because they're all after you. Now, why are we running? Besides the fact that this is a horror game and there's lots of running in horror, that guy who we just run from is Mr. Mendez. He is the village chieftain. He has infinite health. So you're not gonna really, like, win a fight against him. All of these enemies that he tries to spawn in after you, you could run around, just like I'm doing. So that way, you could stay focused on getting to your main objective. Now we don't need to deal with Mendez anymore.
Looks like I gave him the slip. Got something.
Now we get to see a new game mechanic called the Iris. The Iris allows you to see things that the literal naked eye can't see. We are looking for Luis's footsteps as I'm pointing the camera down, that you can see those, you know, blue things. They're pointing us this way, so let's go see what is back here. We're not feeling so well after our first boss fight, and that's because he struck us with a poison dart, and we shook it off a little bit. But they're trying to take control of us, and we can't do that. We need to stay in control of our own mind and vision here.
These belong to Luis.
So we found Luis. Unfortunately, he's not here. But he did leave us a fancy pack of smokes.
His frequency.
And he's like, "Oh, you found me! Great, get out of there." Because, we got an ambush to deal with. Good news. Walk right around him, as if he's not even there. Have another one. Walk right around him. You can either do what I do, which is like take an intentional hit, or you can run around some of them. That gun, crossbow, is really useful at crowd control. Unfortunately, we're not here to use that. We're here just to keep on running and use our little black pistol. What you didn't see is there was somebody with a chainsaw trying to come and saw us in half. Can't be fun. The good news is that you have enough time on assisted, not so much on the higher difficulty levels, to just press and hold to spin and turn off the steam that would hurt you and ruin your hair day. And as always, Resident Evil likes to introduce new mechanics very, very quickly. Those are Plaga zombies. They unleash this really, really creepy looking monster after you damage them enough. The good news is that when that animation spawns, you can just walk crouched right by him, and you won't take any damage. Awesome. I'll explain what that is in a little bit. We pick up that fancy little gold chicken egg because A, who doesn't like a little gold on them to complement their fancy dress? But 2, we need that to buy some of the more expensive upgrades later on. Now that guy I just shot, if he runs, the doors close. We don't want to spend a bunch of time with the doors trying to open and close. So we shoot him as he's opening the door so the doors don't shut. Pretty fancy. What we're gonna do is I'm noticing I am a little bit low on ammo. Alright, I think we have enough because, as you're probably guessing, boss fight number 3. We got to deal with a Gigante. And he's huge. He's got that big little worm coming out of him. You could stun him by hitting the worm. And the worm also, if you hit the worm, it deals a lot more damage to him, which makes the run go a lot faster when you keep hitting him. Now the Gigante will try to knock me off my little hidey hole here, which he can do given enough time. That's why we gotta make sure we take him out. Let's see if we have just enough ammo to finish the job here. We're getting a little close here. Yep, let's go grab some more ammo. And the reason why I was debating whether or not I need more ammo is because of the game's difficulty adjustment mechanic. So behind the scenes, if you're doing well, the game's gonna change how much damage you do. So your bullets will do less damage. If you're doing not so well, the game's gonna compensate. And each bullet that you shoot and land will do more damage. So sometimes it's to your advantage to get hurt or intentionally run out of ammo to have the game help you. That time though, I had my difficulty adjustment level too high in the background, and my bullets were not doing enough. Luckily, for safety, there is enough bullets in the boss room to compensate.
There's a hidden laboratory downstairs.
So after we take care of that Gigante,
Is the present?
we are now charged with being able to help create an antidote for this big virus that's being made. And luckily, Luis has it. It's in his little fancy-dancy laboratory. All of us have a laboratory at home, right? Unfortunately for Luis, and for us, we have some visitors.
Of course they are.
We can just walk by them.
Serious?
What they don't tell you is that those guards were there because they were burning the place down. And Luis, in his brilliance, runs full on in here
Don't inhale the smoke.
to save the antidote. But unfortunately,
We can go back up this way. Then figure out the
not
next
doing
move.
too well. So we need to create a backup plan. And Luis is going to tell us about this little backup plan as we go walk up these stairs here. And for about the next couple minutes, it's just going to be
Better off not knowing.
me walking. So if there's any
You can work for the devil.
messages or things that you'd like to mention, go on ahead.
Absolutely. You are watching Channel 734, we are running No Fish 2026 over on channel 734 this weekend, and we are raising money in support of Mind. We are currently at £35 for the event, and if we reach 75 by the end of the event, we will be seeing Mega Man X4 as our bonus game, so hopefully we can get there. Mind are a charity that aim to ensure no one has to face a mental health problem alone. To learn more about the organisation, visit mind.org.uk.
Awesome. And Mega Man, another great Capcom franchise. So please do your best to try to get that game shown. Alright, it's puzzle time. And I'm going to look at my little cheat sheet over here, just to be able to make sure that I got everything that's needed. Because they don't tell you that that's what you need to be able to get on forward. You kind of have to figure it out based upon the little clues that they give you.
The first ingredient should be in
What can be a little scary is doing that while there's a couple guards in the room who want to hit you with a giant flail. The good news is that they respect you while you're figuring out the puzzle.
see you around.
We got the first part of our little ingredient for an antivirus. We're gonna go into one of the main callbacks to the original Resident Evil 4 game. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. But what I am gonna tell you is we get to ring a lot of bells.
The gate and gong have the same symbol. Seems simple enough.
Why is that important? Because we need to grab this item at the very end down here.
I've got a bad feeling
A little lantern.
about this.
And this is the callback. A giant spike that's running really, really quickly at you. The good news is that when you got all of them lit up, all of the bells lit up, you could just walk straight on through. And they give you more than enough time unassisted to be able to miss a few shots here or there, or just go in and manually ring the bell like I did.
Okay, now for the
And
second.
of course, the game never makes anything easy for dear Ada. Alright, we got one of our 3 ingredients here. And look at that fancy armor. We're really in the medieval ages now.
A trap.
However, these fight back. And I'll show you what's inside of them that's powering those knights in just a second, because we gotta go fight a whole room full of them in a tiny, crammed little space.
I know what's coming.
But don't worry, power of the little black handgun will save you. So you got those same plagas inside of these knights. They have a little bit more health than others, but you can just kick them. You can try to kick multiple at one time. It does save a little bit of time, it's just hard to line them up. Sometimes, even though I'm looking straight at them, the game doesn't think that I am. And you can hit their little plaga piece that is sticking outside of their armor. It does kill them a little bit faster. It's just sometimes they spawn in an area where you can't always fully reach them. There we go. room full of heavily armored knights, easily bested by the power of the pistol. And we're just kicking some of these fancy little vases because I'm gonna need just a little bit more equipment for this next area. And that's how we get
All right. One
ingredient number 2.
I reserve some items just for you. My other customer doesn't.
Now, we don't need another shopping trip yet. We're saving the shopping trip for just a little bit later. Gonna grab that health just for safety for this upcoming part. Sometimes I do get hurt pretty significantly here. Because in order to advance, you gotta defeat this big red guy. And he can be quite annoying, because he does stuff that will stun you. Beautiful. Alright, let's see if I can catch him. No. So this is where we use backup strats to go chase him down, because he will run away. And he runs away a lot. So he's trying to be really cute. You go, and we'll bring him to his knees. And if we do get grabbed, one of the main game mechanics is that you get to use a knife to save you. But if you get attacked, like I just did right there, you can't. There we go. Why did we need to get, this guy besides, him looking cool and messing with us? He took the key to this door that we need to move forward.
The last ingredient.
And so like a bully, we have to treat him like a bully and get rid of him. And now it's just a simple walk to our third ingredient.
That sound.
Don't worry about that roar. That's just somebody's stomach who hasn't eaten yet today. We'll see in a few minutes who needs to eat. Again, I'm doing my best trying not to spoil any of this great game for you. Now, jewels. Again, every fashionable person needs jewels.
This must be the collection room.
Before I do that, I'm gonna look at my cheat sheet over here. And we need a beetle, we need a skull, and we need a lizard. So you could find out the answer to that puzzle by using the iris system and walking around that room and discovering what were the parts that you needed to collect. Again, we're late for a fashionable date.
Louise has
So that's why we're just gonna
I need to reach it.
use the power of previous playthroughs and just keep on moving.
Louise's footprints.
Chapter 5 and Chapter 6 are some of the longer ones in the run because of who you have to deal with and how many obstacles there are in the way. Now, don't worry about that guy who's trying to push you. He will whiff every time as you try to walk around him. Because we're royalty, we need a tiara. And that tiara is going to be the most powerful upgrade item that we can use. And I'm going to have to stop just for a moment talking because everybody needs to make an entrance here. As you could probably tell, Resident Evil games are not against having glamour shots like that.
A nest. Hope it's not a sign of things to come.
Oh, that's a little foreshadowing, unfortunately. And I need a couple bullets here for this area. So we get to craft them. And what I'll do here is just shoot a lock off. Thank you. Out of the way. Why do we shoot that lock off? A, because it's where we need to go. But B, you circumvent maybe about a 5-minute walk to get over here. Because the room is flooded. And you need to be able to get into the area that is flooded, and that fancy little water controls it. Some enemies have shields. You can walk around them. Don't worry about them. Alright. I'm gonna do a mini shopping trip here.
Came into some other bits and bobs too. A deal well struck.
So why we're doing a little shopping trip here is because I need to be able to go and have enough money to upgrade my little black pistol. And that should be enough if I sell that.
A deal well struck.
There we go. Okay. Beautiful. We have some tough enemies coming up along the way, and it's to your benefit to have a fully upgraded pistol to deal with them. Now this fish is a super important fish. Why? Because it gives you 8 little pieces of merchant cash that'll be useful to fully upgrade all of your equipment. So if you miss that fish, you're going to be in some pretty bad straits. Let's see here. Okay. I'm going to need to use some of the safety here. Good, we got enough ammo now. So we got to deal with this bad boy. There we go. His name is Garador. He will bull rush you. And he's got the big Wolverine claws that you could see. He's fully armored, so you can't really hit him or do any damage directly to him. However, he's got a little parasite on the back of him. So if you can hit that little parasite, he goes down in like 5 hits. So you'll be perfectly safe. He takes a lot more bullets if you don't have a fully upgraded pistol. So that's why I take the little side tour to be able to go and get a fully powered pistol before I go into that room. I call it a side trip because the game is telling you you got a big boss fight on your way here. And we got another shopping trip coming up. And we unfortunately don't have any elevator music, but instead of me just being quiet while shopping, I'm happy to pass it back to you, Mitty, to see if there's any other messages or fun that we can talk about while I'm shopping.
We don't currently have any more donations, but I will talk about what we have going on in our next day of runs. So we have a couple of bid wars and an incentive. I will be opening up the other bid war, which will be happening later on Sunday, but the first one is currently open, which is to choose the hat for Ollie Oop. Currently no donations towards that, but anyone who donates to that would instantly mean that would be the option in the lead. And we also have an incentive for an arena boss rush for the Kirby run, which will be happening tomorrow as well. £15 would put us towards that. You are watching Channel 734, and we are raising money for Mind in No Fish 2026.
That is a top-notch weapon.
And that was perfect amount of time because I'm almost done shopping.
Always have this in stock, stranger. Stocking up while pleasant trap.
So all of that shopping nets us a fully powered pistol, and we have to use extra money to unlock the what's called the customization ticket. Normally you can do that with the merchant cash, but because I don't have enough, I just buy it outright. And that fancy crown and that fancy clock give us just enough money to get us to that finish line. And so this is the person who had... Oh, we can actually kick them this time. Perfect. This is the person who's hungry. Hungry to try to kill Ada. And I don't like that. And you shouldn't either. But the good news is, he has a relatively large head, and you can just keep shooting him with your pistol in the head. Now, this Joker here has a second phase. You could just wail away at him after you hit him in the glowing orange spots. And then he just goes down. For good this time. You don't need to deal with him anymore. The leader of the sect, Mr. Sadler, thinks that we'll call him Scorpion, half man, tries to stop the power of fashion and the power of Ada. They got another thing coming. Now this dialogue happens during when you're playing Leon's side of the story, and they're having a pivotal fight between Leon and Krauser. And unfortunately, Luis doesn't end up making it. So we gotta go after Krauser, the person who offed Luis. Beautiful. I needed some extra ammo. And Krauser has the ability to run really fast and jump very, very far. Like anime style running and jumping. Ada doesn't have that. But what we do have is we can outsmart speed with our own speed. What do you mean by that? Well, the first fun thing you can do is you need to get through this gate. But you don't need to hold it all the way. You just hold it partially the way. And you have more than enough time to run, jump, and head on down the stairs and do a barrel roll straight through. On harder difficulties, you actually have to spin it all the way around because the gate just goes all the way down. Assisted, we get some extra little flair. This is the only real scary part of the run, and that's because we have to deal with some crushers who can actually kill us in one hit. And so what I'm going to do is try to show you how to do it without getting crushed. Think we have enough time? Yes, we do. Perfect. These crushers, again, they're no good. But they can crush the enemies if you lead them into it. I'm glad I didn't get destroyed there. I always hold my breath whenever I'm doing a run through that part. Because the window is kind of tight. Now this game was one of the first Resident Evils to introduce the mechanic of if you shoot somebody in the knee or in the head, you can actually stun them. And that's really nice because when these enemies are stunned, you can just walk by them. And when they're in giant groups, you can actually use the power of the stun to do a melee attack on a whole group of people, saving you a bunch of ammo and a bunch of time. Again, more elevator music. I love GoldenEye.
Client happy.
So what just happened there as we're going down this really, really long elevator is Krauser has taken the president's daughter, which was the reason why Leon came to this area in the first place, was to save the president's daughter. Krauser took the daughter to a separate little island. And now we gotta go after him. And they could just keep on talking. Like, they can go blah, 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 all on their own. We're on a date. We're on a time schedule. So we just went by him.
Damn it.
Fortunately, they got away. But conveniently, they left us a key. That's the end of chapter 5. Now it's time for some action. And some pretty, hopefully impressive skips that I can do for you. I call them skips. They're not technically skips in the literal term. But if they do happen, I'll tell you about them. We're about to engage in one of the tricks that I like to call the party bus. And for those who don't know what I mean, it's you have a group of people, they want to all get to a party, but the bus has to leave on time. The bus will wait for everybody who wants to get on board. So if we can do this, what we do go block you. And these guys are a little too close, so the party bus won't leave. Maybe we can do it now. Yes, we can. Perfect. Normally, the game will want you to kill all of those guards before you can get onto this elevator. Fortunately for you, if they don't cross the threshold of out of that computer room that we run through, the game doesn't see that they're there, and you can actually go on ahead. And it saves you a good maybe 20 bullets and maybe about a minute or two of fighting time. So here's where we just say, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. And we just walk through the door. Now that big boy will try to kick you in the face.
Die on me now.
It's a lot easier to get through that door really fast if you just shoot him in the head and stun him. Unfortunately, we don't need any more shopping at the moment, so we're gonna skip the merchant.
While we're here, do we have a very quick? Do we have time for a very quick donation?
Yes, we do.
All right, we have just had, and it's just disappeared off my screen, as I mentioned that, but I will get it back as soon as I can.
Okay.
We have just had a £115 donation.
Yes!
From T's family, who says, and I'll read it. Donating in honor of my amazing husband who overcame so much and just got his documents changed to his real name. That is such a heartwarming message as well. Thank you so much for that. And that means we have reached our original goal of £150 for the event. And we are not even halfway through the event. That has gone towards the pumpkin bid war, and it means we have met the incentive for Kirby tomorrow. Thank you so much for that. That is incredibly generous.
I will echo that. Thank you for that generosity. And on behalf of myself, who has also gone through some name changing, I know how important that is. Quite the important life milestone. I applaud you and wish you an amazing time as your true self. Now these guys, quite opposite of true self. They're called regenerators. If you shoot them, they'll just keep growing back. You can't really kill them with a pistol very easily. All you gotta do is just run by them. It's a lot easier and a lot more saving on your ammo to go ahead and just run by them. God rhymes with fun for a reason. The merchant's lines are completely random. That's my favorite line. And I haven't gotten the merchant to say that in a very long time. So I'm extra hyped as well for this run because I got the merchant to say my favorite line of "Gun rhymes with fun, stranger." He didn't say that in the original game, but it's one of the fun little quirks of what they did in this fantastic remake. Now we get to use a pistol as a sniper rifle. Because we got to deal with all of these guards. And even ones with a rocket launcher. This is also a callback to the original Resident Evil 4, where Leon and Ashley go down a giant ski gondola to be able to fight Mendez at the bottom of the hill. If you're looking to get into Resident Evil, I highly recommend starting with this game. It's really polished. There's a lot of interesting mechanics. And it's fairly forgiving for newcomers. Alright. Now we get to deal with turrets. They do hurt. But we have enough life and also enough running ability on assisted to not care. Normally what you have to do is you have to explode a little barrel right next to each of the turrets to get them to stop. But you can just run. You can just run. And here, we get to use some of the power of the camera to help us. So what I'm gonna do is tip the camera, temporarily stun that group of guys from coming after me, move a turret to help me, explode that barrel, and then just go on through without taking any damage and without hurting a single guard. Because again, ammo is a luxury here in pistol only run, so if you run out, all you have left is running. So you try not to soft lock yourself if you can help it.
Need to find the main terminal.
And the good news is we're out of one big fight. We get to use the power of the iris again. Now, if you don't already know the codes or have a little cheat sheet like I do, the iris will tell you,
You don't look friendly.
because it'll leave fingerprints on the key card reader there, of what numbers to press. You don't see them with the naked eye, but the power of the iris, which is a contact lens,
Where we say goodbye.
it's like a computer-aided contact lens, allows Ada to be able to see where people have put their thumb on the little pin pad there to get forward. Now this part I don't like because it ruins the dress that she has. You climbing through the grime with all the rats.
My new friend was
Not necessarily a fun time. Good news is we're out of there. We have to see this guy again. And he don't play nice. So we gotta get out of here. And those are examples of the fingerprints on the pin pad there. Ta-da! We're a little low on ammo, so we're gonna use the safety right here. And we get another callback to the Resident Evil live-action movies. Lasers. Now, I like most of the Resident Evil live-action movies. I know it's hotly contested within the Resident Evil community. I think for an action movie, they are quite good.
well, that was excessive.
But yes, don't touch them, you'll get hurt. And on higher difficulties, touching the lasers will actually one-shot you.
Now, how to connect the device.
Ta-da! We can now get out of here. So that whole laser junket area side here, that was just to be able to open that front door and get the heck out of here. Beautiful. All right. Now we get to do some styling and profiling. Where we jump through the lasers. Jump and slickly dodge through the lasers. And then fling ourselves through them. And that's how you get through level 6. And now we get to go on to the final level. It does, when you do get a control of the pistol, this game can go kind of fast. Casually, this is maybe about
Their sanctuary. I'll meet him there.
a 3 to 4 hour game. So let's go run it to the end here. Excuse me, we just need to shove ourselves through the door. Explode those guys. Awesome, we got some more bullets. Just gotta watch out for this little posse of people. 'Cause they can make your day pretty bad. You could use those tripwires as protection. Beautiful. Why I go backwards is because I lure all of the enemies away. And they can get close enough where the elevator won't work. So when that happens, like you just saw here, as we take care of some health, you may actually have to deal with them. Let's try it again. There we go. Because for some reason, the game won't let you press an elevator if there are enemies close by or on the elevator with you. I find it weird. But that's why we lure them out and lure them back away. So if we do have to deal with them, we can hit them really, really quickly. Alright, we just walk by the guy with the crossbow. He looks kind of scary. But as long as you zigzag, you could avoid that giant group coming on in here. Alright.
Almost there.
We're about to come up to the final boss. And I think we might be actually a little low on ammo here. So the good news is that there's a merchant over here.
Hard welcome. I've got something new for you, mate.
And in order to make ammo, you need these small resources. So I'm just going to use all of the ones up that I just bought here. So that way I make sure that we don't get soft locked. Because I have gotten soft locked against the final boss because there's not enough ammo in the room to finish him if you run out of ammo. Now you can just walk by the bugs. And as we go and defeat and take on our final boss, this is who we've had to deal with the whole game behind the scenes. This is Mr. Sadler. All you have to do is you just shoot him in the head enough to stun him and expose that little eyeball. One of his special powers is that he absorbs all of the bullets you throw at him, and he can throw them right back at you, which is why you see me hunker down behind a wall, because then that will protect you. There you go. We got maybe a couple minutes left here.
Time to wrap things up. Just
Awesome.
when I was looking.
It's not a Resident Evil game without a self-destruct sequence.
I need to hurry.
And now we have one. So all we gotta do is just navigate a huge amount of rocket launchers and crossbow guns, people with all of this other stuff who want to get rid of us. You can use the power of knocking people down on their knees. And you can just walk around. They will try to throw some tripwires your way. Just let them sit down. This part can get tricky if you don't realize that there is a crossbow guy back here. Especially with that door being locked and you need to shoot the lock off. And these guys won't shoot at you. Even though it looks like they will with their rockets, they won't. Because you're running too fast and they can't lock on fast enough to be able to hit you.
Deja vu. Time to end this. Hold on, Leo.
Hey. Now they're gonna make it a little bit more complicated. Because we got tentacles to deal with. That's okay, just shoot him in the eye, and you'll be able to deal with them. Watch out for the rocket launchers. Big tentacle. Make a beeline. And if you're fast enough, you could avoid that group of 8 people. There's Ashley, who Leon saved. But we gotta save Leon now. And unfortunately for the fun, this run is just about done. So time is called when I lose control of Ada at the following cutscene. This will be time. I'll let this play as I talk a little bit more. Ada gives the power of the rocket launcher and blows up the mutated Zadler. And you can destroy the evil that is finally plaguing this island once and for all. That is the power of the little black pistol. I've had a blast being here. And I hope you've had a good time too. If you like what you saw, come find me at twitch.tv/Amalgamayne, where I do horror, I do action, I do puzzles, I do souls, and I do retro. Most importantly, the welcoming community and very LGBT friendly. I'm going to give a round of applause for all of the runners, all of the people who have donated so far and who will be donating, because again, this is a cause that I really, really believe in. Thank you, Mitty, and thank you, the staff, and I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you so much for that run. That was fantastic. We have one more run for you for the day, and it is going to be Carnival Games Wii. I cannot think of a bigger difference between two games than Carnival Games Wii and Resident Evil 4, but that will be closing our Saturday for No Fish 2026. That's coming up in a few minutes' time, so stick around. We'll be right back.